Hello, I hope I'm audible. So, this is the dashboard's layout right now. Uh, this is the home section. This is the header. This is the main area, output, warning box. Just main area is just for just an introduction. Then there is the plot section. Currently, what I did this time around was I also there is a introductory tutorial using nicer data to analyze various sort of things. So because it was taking, it's a large data set and it was taking a long time to load, so I'm not loading it at the first iteration of, say, having the dashboard, loading the dashboard. So if I go back to home page after this, this would load. And this is the help section that I could update later on. This is the footer section. So I could just show how would it do that. They can could go to load and come back, or I could have directly click the home button too. So I'm clicking the home button. You would see that there is a busy indicator here. That means some things are going on. It's a large data set. So currently the nicer data set was 2.4 gigabyte, but there is a smaller data set which is around 700 MB, which is I think a reduced data set of that 2.5 gigabits only. Yeah, so waiting for a few seconds. Okay. Yep. So I could also add how this all is being done in the help section afterwards. But yeah, this is a basic demo for the user. So what all simple things can be done. These are all uh, Stingray's inherent dot plot methods, which I'm using. Yeah. Now coming to load data, we have load event list, create event list, simulate event list, and of course the output and warning boxes. Plots here is just an empty container. There is the help section for this, and the footer as usual. Also, that thing about having a floating, having a container to hold floating plots, and I'm not changing it or probably uh, reappending or manipulating it at any at all in any of the layouts. So, what things are appended to this container remains there. So, it would be really crucial when I'm appending floating plots here. You'll see. So, yeah, I could simulate one. Okay, just simulate one and let name it data one. Some number of bins, counts, maybe delta, some delta. Okay, number of bins. Yeah, simulated. Okay, this is simulated. I don't want to create. I could load. Yeah, so I'm loading say three data sets. Selecting multiple, then using the default format, which is OGIF for loading and HDF5 for saving, and I'm loading those datasets. So these are loaded by the default names. Then say I'm deselecting these because I want to load those two nicer, say shortened dataset. So this, but they have the format of HDF5, so I'll use that format. HDF5, comma HDF5, both are HDF5. And okay, wait, did I not specify? I did. Wait a second. HDF5, HDF5, yeah. So it's taking a little time to load. Yeah, these two are loaded. So I could also see them in the preview tab. See this data one that we simulated, no emission, XD, data small and data smaller. Oh, quite big data. And of course, I could clear loaded files from it. Don't want to clear it and save and delete too, but don't want to do anything right now. Yeah. Now we can go to the light curve section. So here's the light curve, and as you can see, whatever the data sets were loaded, I can see them there. So say I want to uh, see the no emission. Uh, this is the no emission event list. I want to create a light curve out of it. So I could select a DT, say a small DT, one for format. So currently, as the checkbox is not ticked on, it would append to this plot section. So I'm generating it. And you can see it mentioned the DT, and this animation is being plotted here. And if I say select some other thing with some DT, and not checked in right now, and generate it again. You can see this looks quite similar. It's not same, because if I use this and generate this, yeah, of course. Then I could also have different plots with different DTs appended to it. You can see this is the same normal but with a different DT. Data 1, it mentions it. And this helps in a way that now they are all individual, they are not synced at all. And same goes for adding to the floating panel. So I could generate this data 1 and no emission, generate in the float panel, and probably this test 2 generate. Oh, so these are same DT. Okay, change the DT. Yep. So of course these are also not synced. You can see. Oh, and I can minimize them as I want. So these will be minimized here. And the benefit of that is this plot would refresh if I go to some other container or something, but these, as they are kind of appended cleverly along this hidden container, they will remain there wherever I'm going. Now, of course, I could also show the data frame, say that this data frame and probably the data one, and you can see with along this DT, these data frames are given here, and I could do so that for nicer data too. Say not to the float panel, say from here only. You can see down, yeah. This is the nicer data set which has some bad time intervals too. Okay. Uh, Same goes for the say this one. I want to add it on the floating panel. It takes some time because a big data set. Okay, this is added. Same goes for, I could also add the data frame. Currently, it's this color is a little weird, but I'll sort it out later. So yeah, data frame. It's all there, but just the format of color is weird. And all this is mentioned in the. It fetches the name from the event list only. So yeah, that is. Oh, of course. Now the other thing. Say I want to plot similar light curves and combine them along the same axis that we wanted to do, and say in the floating panel only, say data small and data smaller, I want to combine, just combine it. It's loading, you can see the digit indicator, and yeah, see this, they have almost similar data sets, parts of say the same data set, though they can be quite readily represented by this. Along with this, I could see which one is which. Say minimize this, but say I'm having some random data, say that data one along with say uh, no emission, and then combining it. It would be a bit weird because they are not scaled, they are different light curves, and this one was simulated one, so I don't know. And say, minimize this also. So this all go. Oh, of course, this. Oh, I showed that already. So yeah, this. Uh, Say I want to select all of them. I don't. I want to. I don't know why, but I want to, and append it in the plots container. So it's loading. Yeah, it's appended in the plots container. You can see every one of them is here, but you can barely see them. They are somewhere. Okay. Now let's go to the power spectrum. You can see this, our graphs are still here because they were never they never went away. So we can readily just reshape however we want and say now see and compare along. And of course, one thing I didn't mention, this all those containers can be maximized. So this plots container could be maximized, so it would be very handy to compare the plots inside it. And of course, these floating panel containers are always there to compare. So yeah, power spectrum of data one. Let's see, and I can choose from any of the type of normalization, some DT, and generate the power spectrum. Yeah, so it's generated here with this DT and absolute normalization. And say I want to do a different normalization. So yeah, it's done there. You can see the power is different now. Power versus frequency. And yeah, say I don't want to normalize at all. I don't want to, and just had it in the floating panel. It's generated. It's not normalized, and you can see how much the power goes on. And this is for some DT. I could change the DT and generate it again. This is for different DT. And of course, it can be minimized again. Oh, Again, one thing more. Oh, of course, this could be also done for the data frames. Not minimize data frame. Oh, okay, this is not in floating panel. So this it goes here. If I select this, then it goes in the floating panel. Again, that color issue, but I'll sort it out somewhere. Now, again, the similar thing. Say absolute. Yeah, absolute will be perfect. And I want to just combine the power spectrums and compare. And you can see no emission is barely anywhere. Okay, just minimize it and say I want to compare every and each of them. And you can see them there. Everyone is label is mentioned and they are doing something. So this is for the power spectrum, and now we come to the average power spectrum where we can, along with normalization, we can also select the segment size. So they are segmented and averaged over. So say this slide, say I select data small, yeah, and have a segment size of 8, say, for example, and need the floating panel itself. Oh, say first now. So it's loading, yeah, okay. With this norm and this segment generated here, say I want a different segment. Say hopefully this is valid or not. Let's see. With a different DT, I hope so it works. Let's see. It's loading and it's barely visible. I think I need to change DT or something. Let's see. Send it again. Oh yeah. Okay. There was some problem with DT, I guess. Or segment size. What a different segment size. And generate it again. Yeah. And minimize it again. We can later on see what each of them are. We can also do this average power spectrum and combine them as we did it and just have it in floating panel or date also have in the plots container wherever we want it. So I wanted it in a floating panel and combine them. So you can see the combined average power spectrums with negative normalization. See, we want absolute normalization and combine it again. Now we have absolute normalization. Minimize it again. Say I want the data frame of data smaller. Show the data frame. It's up in detail. With this DT, this is this much only, segmented 14. And now say I want to see the cross spectrum. Then I need two different data sets to form the cross spectrum, two different event lists. So I can choose one and choose some other. And most of the time, what was happening for me, uh, they were quite different event lists. So most of the time, uh, it was not compatible and it was not forming. There were some Stingray errors that it was saying that it cannot form a cross spectrum. But let's see if it does now. Fail to create a cross spectrum. But yeah, if I do same thing, and it does generate the cross spectrum. Yeah, but say I use similar data. So there's a data small and data smaller were quite similar. Me say with absolute normalization, let's add it to the float panel, and you can see the cross spectrum then. And I am not too sure how is it right or wrong, but I'll see to that. I also have a data frame for it. Here, just minimize it again. And this is also for the average cross spectrum. Let's choose this data and data smaller only with some DT and say fractional normalization with some segment size add to the floating panel. Fail to create. Okay, nice. Oh no, that was the previous one. Okay, average spectrum created. Yeah, so minimize it again. And these you can see, you can have abundant of them and say, I want to go to the loading section and probably load something, or I want to see it higher. So I could compare things. Yeah. I'm not the data set. Say some. I want to compare them. I could compare handily and go along with my work. Probably just do it like this. Also, along with this, we have the option to reshape our the layout itself. The layout of every layout we can reshape the way we want and move it around. Say I want it like this. Probably just make it smaller. I want it here, and this is saved because if I refresh it, then of course these plots will be gone because I'm refreshing everything. But this layout is saved and it is only refreshed if I reset the layout here. Okay, I'll show it to you. Refresh, all the plots are gone, but the layout is preserved. And you can even duplicate tabs, say duplicate it, and the layout is there, and say you want to dual screen it. You could do that too. I'm recording one screen, so you cannot see it, but assuming I have two screens, then I can do some things on it and open, say, this, say, example, I'm loading here, and I can open light curve here. What happened? Oh, light curve must be opened. Where is it? Oh, it's opened here. Okay, stupid. And yeah, so I could compare, have them sideways and do this, or if I want to reset it again, okay, just have it in the standard layout. Okay, that's all fine. So yeah, that was all. Yep.